Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and what you're about to watch is a 15-minute rapid-fire critique that I did for someone that signed up for one of my mentorship rapid-fire critiques. Now, I said 15 minutes, but it ends up being something like 26 minutes. As I like to say, I went into overtime. Sometimes that happens that I go into overtime, but I liked this critique and I wanted to share it with you guys so you could see what a 15-minute rapid-fire critique with me looks like. Now, before we jump into that video, which I do want to say was recorded via Zoom, so it's not as good looking. It's not going to look as good as when we're using the EOS R5 to do our recordings, but it's just easier to record them via Zoom, or when I do those one-on-one mentorships, we do those through Zoom as well. So if you want to sign up for a mentorship, go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/mentorship. You can decide which way you want to go there with the 15-minute rapid-fire critique or the one-on-ones, but I wanted to share this one with you because I really liked the images and I liked that there were things for me to critique. I mean, that's the whole point of a critique, is that you have stuff. It's not like the best images ever and you're like, yep, great, great, great. There was actually stuff to build on, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys with permission from the photographer. So here it is right now.
All right, here we go with your critique or critiquerson. Read through your email. We're going to take a look. It's in a book. It's Reading Rainbow. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the develop module here, and I'm going to go through picture by picture, and we're going to take a look and see what we got. Let's see, 1/160th at f4, because you have an f4, that's fine. ISO 500, that's also fine with the 5D Mark IV. So I read that you have, excuse me, you have 5D Mark IV, then you went to the R, and then you went to the R5. Obviously, that's a pretty good progression. This is fine. I mean, you get the point of where they are. You get it from the backside. You can see they're in the Navy, and you can see, well, the Aerosmith tattoo. Is that an arrow? It's not an Aerosmith tattoo. It is an arrow. It looks like an Aerosmith tattoo. I'm not going to lie. Looks like Aerosmith. It's fine. You know, it's not the greatest thing ever. I'm not a big fan of the cookies and cream look, even though that's a preset that we have. But I think compositionally, everything's fine. I think that works out. This is great from the front. So awesome color, really nice job there. Even with the f4, a lot of people fail to realize that you can obliterate the background at f4. You're only in at 35 millimeters, and you're still doing it with the f4 at 1/500th at 4 at 500 ISO. This is great. I love the composition, love the eyes, love the colors, love the tones. So perfectly good there. Really nice job on that one. This is one where I'm backing up. It just, your lines aren't straight. You can see that it just looks like they're falling because look at the stairs in the background. I'm a big proponent of straight lines. As straight can be in the camera without having to do this in post. But really, it should be more on the lines of this. Oh, and it looks, look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God, it looks so much better. Just even making that correction right there, you could totally make it and get away with it. Now, it looks a hell of a lot better. So, I would just do that correction to it, but also in the future, step back and then zoom in to get them or do the full body. But this is a hell of a lot better than the other way that it was. So this is really nice. Colors look good. Now it just looks much better. So that's fine. You know, it's a pretty crunchy edit. I love crunchy edits. Is this the right aspect ratio is the question. It doesn't feel like it, but it actually is. Look at that. 1/160 at f4 with the EOS R. It's fine. Yeah, I like the moment captured. Really nice job there. Composition is fine. As I tell everybody, don't forget, though, that it's all about, when I'm telling photo stories, I'm looking for 4 things. Wides, mediums, tights, details. Wides establish a scene. So I try to run through all of these no matter what scene I'm in. The wides establish it. The medium brings you in a little closer like this. The tight gives you those portraits. And the details are the rings, the fingers, the feet, the shoes, the hair, the whatever else might be a detail of whatever you're shooting. And if you can get all 4 of those things for the situations that you're in, you're going to have a much better, more well-rounded photo story and a lot more images to choose from. So a lot of people go, well, how do I decide what I do first? Well, you go for the one that's the one you want to get first. If the medium is what you're at and that's what you're getting, then get that. And if you have the time, you move on to the others. So I like that. That's good. All right, there's a little bit wider. Do these rocks have anything to do with the actual people. So that's my question. It's like, because it's just kind of awkward that the rocks are there and they're off to the side. It's fine. I'm just questioning. I'm not saying it's bad. Settings are fine. 4.5, 6/40th, 1/60th, 1/160. Excuse me, yeah, I worked out early this morning. Yeah, it's fine. And going black and white probably saved it a little bit. Another thing you could do, you zoom in further, you get down lower, and you use the rocks out of focus. These two right here. You see where this V is being, I hope my thing is showing up, but where this rock intersects this rock, if you get down low there and you photograph them between the V, you could be like, oh, it's like a heart, you know, some lame shit like that. But anyway, you just shoot through there and you put this stuff, oops, didn't mean to go to her. We'll get back to that later. You put these areas out of focus, the rock, the corner of it, like this, and you photograph through it to get both of them centered. I think that would be another nice option as well. Really great sharpness here. R, 100 ISO, yeah, perfectly fine. Really like it. Nice job. One of the things that I'll point out, and this is just me, just for future reference, I personally like to keep the eyes above a certain area. Right? So I like to, this third line, this, look, I just pointed to the screen as if you could see it. This third line right here, I kind of like when eyes, you know, we're not going to do this crop, but I like when the eyes move up in the frame. That's something that I personally look for. This is fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. But I do that with portraits. I'll see if we have a vertical that I could show you on. The duck, watch the duck's ass. Make sure you don't cut it off. You didn't. It's fine. Colors are nice and cool. Really nice and sharp here. 70-200 2.8, of course. Really solid lens adapted there. 4,000 ISO. So what's it say? 1/500th at 2.8. Must have been pretty dark. But it's fine. It handles it. I don't worry about this grain, and I'm happy to see that you didn't try to apply some bullshit noise reduction. A lot of people try to apply that bullshit noise reduction, and it just makes the image look smooth and not sharp. This is fine. I like the bill. Look at the duck. Look at the bill. So cool. Nice colors. Nice job. Your processing's very nice so far. This one, black and white doesn't do it for me. I'd probably like to still see the color, but it's, yeah, this one's just plain. I'll just say plain. Something to look out for, though, is you're at 1/640th, right? And if the duck isn't moving very far or fast, or the subject isn't moving fast, you can, I'm not saying you need to in this situation, because I like to shoot at faster shutter speeds as well, but if you went to 2000 ISO just because you wanted to cut down to 2000, all you would do, you'd go to 2000 ISO, and that would take your shutter speed one stop down to 3/20th of a second. You just have it, and that's your stop. So at 1/320th at 2.8 at 2000, you would get the same exposure as you have right here, but nothing wrong with the 4000.
So I hope you're enjoying this 15-minute rapid-fire critique, and if you're sitting there saying, when I post my images, all I get are thumbs-up emojis, fire emojis, my friends and families are all like, this is amazing, but you really want some real feedback from a professional photographer, you know, me, well, head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/mentorship. Over there, you can sign up for a 15-minute rapid-fire critique that's recorded from me, or on that page, you can watch a 15-minute rapid-fire critique as well as what a one-on-one mentorship looks like. But if you're just tired of having your friends and family tell you that everything's amazing and you want real feedback, well, go ahead and sign up for one of those rapid-fire critiques or a one-on-one 45-minute mentorship call with me. Now, let's get to the end of this rapid-fire critique.
So that's 4000 again. I mean, it's fine. These are tough because it's like, what do we do in these situations, right? I like that you don't have anybody looking at you. This is, you know, I know what to do in these situations. This is where you set up a tripod, if you have one. This is where you slow the shutter speed down, and you get the cars' lights moving, and you get the people moving, you get the bikes moving, and so that's where you slow it down and do a longer exposure. This is fine. Like, it's fine, but it doesn't set the world on fire, but it's not bad. What are we focused on? Nothing, actually. I don't think anything's in focus here. That's all right, because I didn't like it anyway. Sorry, yawning. Yeah, I didn't. It's all right. Like, I don't know. there's not much to it, right? So it's just one of these, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. What are you at, 6400 ISO? Okay, in a situation like this, you definitely don't need to be at 160 at the 6400. If you see you're that high, you could cut that down to 3200, ISO 3200, and go to 1/80th of a second. That's a little better because it's like a cooler angle. You got the nice light, the mixed lighting here. You've got the daylight from what's here, or the night light coming, and you've got the warm glow in here. So I can live with that. I like that. Looks like you burned the sky in quite a bit. Like it's overdone, like the color is overdone over here. But it's not one of those images, again, in the streets that totally sets the world on fire. Same thing here. I mean, I like the colors and I like the chain, but whoa. 16,000 ISO. See the noise reduction that gets added here? That's in camera. I turn all of that off. 16,000, wow. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just, it's again, it's not like it's an extreme street photo. It's actually interesting, though, because I like the colors here into the neon there, so that's fine. Yeah, so this is where you want the faster shutter speed, unless you're going for some of that motion. Like, I can live with this. I kind of like the bike in the background on the colors and the motion blur. I'd like to see you pan with it and go slower. So to pan with something, you go to a much slower shutter speed, maybe like a half a second or a second, and you get your exposure locked in, so you'd be at like 100 ISO at f11 or 16 at 1 second, depending on the lighting, and you just pan with the subject, and you get some better motion blur that looks more natural, like not natural, but it looks interesting. Yep, I like this. See, I haven't even needed to come in here and touch the exposure at all, or not exposure, but your processing. Yeah, I just tighten it up personally. Yeah, good job here. 1/400th of a second at 1/8. Tough to do, especially with now you get the R5, so it's much easier. But it's with the EF lens. Yeah, it's fine. And just know that at 1/8, this is what's happening. It's going to be very difficult to nail the focus with that older lens. It just doesn't focus as fast, so that's something you just got to be careful about. Great composition here. 1, 2. Make sure you have IAF on in the R5. It looks like you have it. This looks great. Love it. Great composition. Even though it's in the city, which could be distracting with those cars, you've obliterated them. And even whatever this thing is pretty obliterated right there, so it doesn't distract me. So I like your colors. I like your tones. And nice composition. Nice job. So this is like, I don't want to cut off this hand over here, right? I don't want to cut this one off. Colors are good. Colors are definitely good. But it's more the pose, you know. She's just like in between. You get a little bit of the double chin thing going, just because it's one of those tweener photos. So I would probably just have her more relaxed, put her back against the wall, look over her shoulder at you, and just boom, capture that. Similar to that, yeah. So nice and sharp. That's great. F4. I'd break out the 7200. Hopefully you still have the 7200. I'd use the 7200 for this, or I would use that 85 that you have. There you go. That's much better. Super sharp. Nice colors, nice tones. Really like the portrait. Just be careful you don't overdo the face, like over sharpening or whatever's going on, but it looks really good. So very nice. Only thing smidgenly like shift her to your right a little bit, or the angle, like if you move the camera ever so slightly, it'll be a little bit more even, but I think this is great. It's fantastic. There you go. That's nice, leaning in. God, we work with such large files. We go at 100%. It takes you all the way in. Really nice job. Same thing here, or not more so than the last one. This one I would rather have her centered more. But you're kind of doing that thing that I like. You're putting the eyes above that third line. Especially for these verticals, it looks fantastic. 24, yeah, it's fine. You don't have a lot of room to work with here, but I think that works well, except for the air conditioning units and stuff. But maybe you come down the stairs a little bit. Oh, I love shots like this. You come down the stairs a little bit and then shoot up towards her. But you just see, with women, you got to be careful with the chin thing. They hate that, so be very careful with that and the angles that you use there. This is very good. Let's see what color. So the only thing I would say here, this is where that third line comes into play. Watch. Watch as we do this. You know, it just brings it in better. It makes it more, for whatever reason, it just draws you in to the image better. So that's something that I try to do, is that third line. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, strong backlight going on. It's fine. The color is probably pretty void of color because the trees look like they're missing their leaves, so that's why you probably did this. Yeah, it's all right. It's good. EOS R5, 1.2. Good job. Obviously, you want to be careful at 1.2 if they're on different planes and you're shooting at 1.2, but this is fantastic. The only thing I will tell you here is, you see how you're at 1/5000th of a second? No problem being at 500 ISO at 1/5000th at 1.2, but just know that you could, if you wanted, you could be at 1/1000th. You could be at 100 ISO for. I would most likely start at 100 ISO for this stuff outdoors, just because they're not moving, right? They're not moving. They're not going to be moving fast. You get the base ISO. Let's see. Let's just go 500, then 250, 1/125. So whatever, 2 stops. We'll just call it 2 stops. So 1/5000th goes to 1/2500th goes to 1/1250th. So 1/1250th at 1.2 at 100 ISO is going to give you a pretty baller, nice colors and nice tones. So I would we're going into overtime here. I would keep going. I would do that, especially for this stuff. There's no reason to start at 500. Okay, so one's going to be in focus and one's not, aren't they? Yeah, because this was at 1.8. There you are. You're at 100 ISO on this. So this is where I would be careful. I think his chest is in focus, but nobody's in focus. So this is one that you can't do at 1.8 because they're on different planes. I really like what's going on here, though. I like the composition and framing. No reason you can't be at f4 or have him lean in a little closer, and that way f4.5, maybe even 5.6, just to make sure you get them both in there. So it's good. Like, I love the composition. I like your colors and tones. Just know at 1.8, he's out of focus, and I knew it going into it. And she's close. I think she's in focus. Oh, wow. Look at that. Now, why is this one at f8? See, this is the one you do at 1.8. Let's see. 1/200th, f8. Yeah, this is 100 ISO. You could throw this to even at 2.8. What's that say? 15 to 35. Oh, shit. Nice glass. Yeah, 15 to 35. Throw this on at 2.8. They're on the same plane unless, I mean, your composition is awesome. Is there another wedding thing going on? Oh, no, that's a stick. I thought this was a person. See, my eyes deceive me. It's fine at f8. It's fine, but try to make sure that you get even left to right. And this is nitpicking, but this is less space here than there is over here. So if you just, it's fine. I'm just nitpicking. That's nitpicking to nitpick, just to say it. But yeah, this is one where I don't go to. I go to 2.8 all day. Black and white color, both will work. Ooh, and there you're back to. So that's fine with that 4, 24. Yeah, that's fine. You have the 15 to 35 and this one. Okay, good. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What are we at here? 1.2. So his schnoz is in focus, and her eye is where it nailed it. It's fine. I love using these out-of-focus bottles to draw you in. Like I was saying earlier, this is where I work that composition, and I bring their eyes levels to something like this. And centered is probably best here. But see how much better? We're still using these out-of-focus bottles to draw us in, but I move the eyes up to this third line. Boom. I think that's really good right there.
Let me jump in here real quick and show you that this is my phone number to text me. Yes, it's a real number. It's not my actual personal cell phone number, but it is a number that I correspond with and reply back to. It's also where I get my free rapid fire critique links from when I request them. So if you want to get messages from me via text and you want to interact from time to time, well, go ahead and text this number right now that's on the screen, and maybe we'll have a conversation. Now let's get back to the video.
Just be careful. What the hell are they doing? Are they in a tree? Hey guys, I'm in a tree. I'm gonna do it right here in the tree so nobody can see but the squirrels. 1-800 at 12, 100 ISO, 85 at 12. Yeah, see, this is fine. They're on the same plane. Nailed it. Good job. Literally nailed it. Oh, hey, look at this. Oh, look what we did here. That's what I was looking for earlier. Very nice job. Good job. Yeah, great job. What's that say? Happy birthday, somebody? Happy birthday, Sylvie. Yeah, great job. Fantastic. That's a better street photo. You know, it's not setting the world on fire, but it draws you down. I love the blue light, and I love the warm light. So nice job. Holy shit, 20,000. Okay, again, you don't need to be at 20,000. If you're gonna, you could handhold this, and you have an R5. Okay, so now that you have the R5, you have image stabilization built in. So what can you do with that? Let's go. We got 20,000 ISO, which I rarely ever do, but this camera can do it, and it actually looks like it's pretty good. One stop is 10,000, two stops is 5,000. So we're at 1/60th of a sec, 1/160th. Take away one stop, we're at 1/80th, we're at 1/40th. You could handhold this at 1/40th at f4 at 5,000 ISO to bring down that ISO. Just playing the math game here, because that's what you could do. We are in extended overtime. Extended overtime here. What I mean by that, if I do ask for permission to post this, which I may, because I really like this critique. This is a fun one. Overtime just means I went past the 15 minutes. So we're now at 1/80th at f22. Holy Jesus, at 2,500 ISO. Yeah, I mean, you're experimenting. It's fine. It's an experiment. It's fine. Great job. Awesome focus right here on the bamboo. 1/80th at f4 at 6,400. Next one you get is that 24 to 72.8. But this is great. Awesome. Love the colors, love the tones, like the composition a lot. All right. That gets you more creative out there shooting. I like it. That's what I'm looking for. It's creative. So nice job there. I'm not a fan of this angle. This one's a little better. But yeah, this angle's just, it's lost on me. Bamboo forest of some kind. I'm just going to say, if you're in auto ISO, I would recommend getting out of auto ISO. This is all right. I mean, this doesn't set the world on fire for me again. It's very hard for me to give a lot of landscapey tips, as that's not my forte. I know what's good when I see it, though. This is just, it's fine. It doesn't set the world on fire. One of the things you could do is potentially straighten yourself on, use the poles of the railings to draw you and lead you down. Great color. Great sharpness. I mean, right on at 1.2. This is something we could not do very easily with the 5D Mark IV, the 5D Mark III, the 5D Mark II when those 85 1.2s came out. This is really good. Love the color, love the tones. Great moment, great focus, nice job. Very nice. Let me see. Here I'm going to go again with this. For whatever reason, I just feel that when you do this, when you bring the level, when you even up this line right here with the eyes, I think it crushes all day. I think it just feels better compositionally. Don't worry about the top of the head. I don't care about the top of the head. I care about the eyes and the smile, and it draws you in. So that's fantastic. Very good. Same thing applies here. Watch. And it just draws you in more. I don't care that the arm's cut off on this one. I like the colors. We'll try to keep the colors even. See how blue that is? See how warm that is? So here, I would probably try to warm it up a little. Try and match it as much as possible. I know it's different lighting scenarios. We're at 1.8. Good job getting to that 100 base ISO. Really good portraits. There's your 200 2.8. Fine. Yeah, like that's fine. It's a seagull. It's fine too. Like when I mean fine, it's good, right? That's cool too. With the people out of focus in the background, nailing it. Gotta love that camera though. Gotta love that R5. Love this landscape. See, I like it. It feels good. But why the hell are you at 6400 ISO for a landscape? I'm yelling at you because you deserve to be yelled at for this one. Give me 20 push-ups, soldier. All right. You're at 7.1. Fine. Gives you a lot of focus, a lot of depth. We're at 6400 ISO, 3200 ISO, 1600 ISO, 800 ISO, 400 ISO. 5 stops. Let's go to 200 ISO. 5 stops. Now let's get 5 stops of light back here. We're at 1/1600th of a second. Let's do the 5 stops. We've got 800. We have it. 400, 200, 100, 1/50th. 1/50th at 7.1 at what did I go to? What were the 5 stops? 3200, 16, 8, 4, and 200. 1/50th, 7.1, 200 ISO, cleaner image. Because it's an awesome shot. I love how straight the horizon is. I mean, when I say awesome, this one I mean is, it's good. It's fine, right? But you're killing it with that 6400. There's no reason to be there. So that's how we play that math game. And if you didn't want to be at 1/50th and you wanted to be at 1/100th, you could go 7.1 to 5.6, and you'd still have the same results. But that's how you play the math game right there. 2 more. Oh, that's cool with the triple play right here. Fantastic job. 5,000 ISO. It gets away with it. But yeah, I mean, you get the one. You don't have to be at 1/3200th of a second. But I mean, maybe I would be like, and this is just maybe, be at like 1/2000th of a second, and I'd be at 3200. But this camera can handle it, so it's fine. I do the same thing. I'll shoot at a higher ISO because I don't care. I care about getting the sharpness and all of that. This is a great shot. Love it. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of crunchy going on here, as if your exposure was so far off. Which your exposure was so far off, by the way. 6400, 1/5000th of a second. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to be that hot. I just think your exposure was way off. Even, actually, let's just talk about this. I rather bring it down to this type of shot than that. That's too bright and over. So we bring it down like this, much better. This shot, same thing. We can bring it down because look, if it's dark, if it's getting dark, then embrace it. Don't try to make it daylight if it's not daylight. If it's dark light, dusk, then go with that. But this is good. So if you'd like to get into portraiture, I think that's what your email said, is you'd like to get into portraiture when you're done with the Navy. I think you nailed it. I think you got it. I think with that 85, stuff like this, 1, 2, 3, awesome shots. Then you could do the full body walking. I really do. I think you're on the right path. Great progression from the 5D Mark IV to the R to the R5. Very good. Watch your settings in certain situations, but overall, really good. Well above par, which is a good thing. A couple birdies in there, so nice job. I went to extra overtime, but hey, shit happens. Thank you.
So I hope you found that useful. That is what a 15-minute rapid-fire critique looks like. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I go into overtime. Sometimes they're 15 minutes, and sometimes I just keep going because it just feels like that's what I want to do, or it just is where it goes. So if you want to sign up again, head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/mentorship. You can read all about it over there on the website. But thank you guys very much for watching. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.